All right, we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business today. We're going to see if we got BSS for either of these two Google searches. So we're back here in the GBC universe. We're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More on that, the home video, pinned video, somewhere around here. And this is because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our FSIC picture here in white. Over on the left, the highest intent peeps, that's social search, that's Google search, searching, boudoir photo shoot in their city right now. And we talk about that here when we talk about BSS. And over on the right, that's the lowest intent peeps, people that ain't searching for that right now, most often have no idea what the heck boudoir even is. So they actually, we actually have to reach them via interruption ads on Facebook and Instagram. Talk about that over on our sister brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, where we currently only work with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand a month in boudoir Facebook ads, and where we talk about BLCS over there. So BSS is boudoir search sameness. That is when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 on Google. And having 0 slots, our business is dying a fast death because 0 slots page 1 means we're on page 2 or deeper. And as a result, we are invisible to approximately 80% of the market. 80% of, that approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. So we're done a fast death there. Page 1 Google search, not good either. We're looking the same as everyone. The other 9 boudoir photographers, they'll be there each with one link. So we're essentially invisible there as well. And 0-1 slots of page 1 Google is not normal. It's actually a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. And those 2 deeper root causes are market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. So market saturation, basically everyone knows that. Someone's getting a new iPhone, new camera gear. Just over time, more people enter the marketplace. They're throwing up their Google My Business profile saying that for boudoir photo shoots. They are throwing up, basically they're throwing up their websites and they now do boudoir photography. They're posting the mom groups that they now offer boudoir. And as a result, more boudoir photography sellers, same number of buyers, harder for every single boudoir photographer. Next, something that's not previously known was the false belief of page 1 equality. This is where boudoir photographers kind of accepted, kind of without thinking about it, that every boudoir photographer gets either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google, and that's simply, simply how it is. And as a result, they are, kind of maybe they're slot 8 on page 1, then some market saturation happened. Now they're slot 2 on page 2. They're kind of like, oh, well, that's simply how it is. Hopefully, those people delete their websites and Google stops indexing them and ranking them. So maybe Google will pull me back up onto page 1. So this is 100% incorrect. We've actually discovered Google will give us as many page 1 slots as we want to acquire. And as a result, as we want to put in the effort to acquire. And we discovered this with our new methodology where I was able to go from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google search to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google search. And we were actually able to do that all in 10 days. So we'll see those results in like 2 more pictures here. We also know that boudoir photographer with BSS is a disappearing boudoir photographer. And it's kind of the first warning light, the canary in the coal mine, that that our boudoir photography business is on the path to disappearing as well. But what we've discovered is BSS is treated with social search saturation SQ methodology. We discovered this because we invented it. And it works exactly as it says, social search saturation. We saturate social search with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in our city, so we show up there. This is kind of like the snow at the top of the Andes Mountains down in South America on the eastern side, the backside. And what happens to that snow is it melts into small streams, small rivers, and it actually all flows down, flows together into the Amazon River. The Amazon River is page 1 on Google. So it all starts with saturating social search, which then allows it to flow into page 1 on Google. And what's interesting is this is the only solution I've seen for boudoir photographers that can successfully compete against market saturation in a relatively quick time frame. So still allow business to grow in a relatively quick time frame without ever, without taking a long time. The second option is actually building a large, well-known brand. Dude, that takes 5 to 10 years. We ain't got 5 to 10 years. We got AI here taking everyone's jobs. We need results faster, way faster in 5 to 10 years. And so brand is off the table for right now at this time. And something interesting about SQ methodology is I actually believe my estimates is it can actually help build a brand, large, well-known brand, approximately 8x faster than standard methods, because we're on so many surfaces, so many times, and actually kind of utilizing the mere exposure effect for our benefit here. So here's an example of fighting back against the market saturation with SQ methodology. Let's say we are, let's say we are in Memphis, Tennessee. There's 1 million boudoir photographers. We're one of them. And as a result, everyone's got their website saying they do boudoir photography. Everyone's trying to rank page 1 on Google. So ultra competitive, and realize, man, we ain't got no brand. We got to really fight. Like literally, SQ methodology is the only solution out there that can help us with this. So we start using it, and we actually crank it up maximum. And let's say that gives us the first 300 slots page 1, or first 300 slots social search against all of the against all of the on all the social networks. Let's say that flows onto Google, and we get the first 300 organic slots on Google as well. So it's like 10 slots per page, and 10 slots per page means we're taking up basically the first 30 pages of Google search. So we got everywhere a boudoir buyer looks, social search, Google search, basically all in one they can find. So whose business is going to be growing? Obviously ours. We're the only one people can be finding. Whose business is going to be dying, disappearing, going away? Obviously every other with our 999,999 boudoir photography competitors in our marketplace. And as a result, we actually, it's kind of the only option for us that gives us a chance to keep growing. So that's what's special about SQ methodology. Now, once you're with SQ methodology, we have page 1 visibility. Initial benefit, obviously, more page 1 links to Google search. And we've got this new secondary benefit where every new link we get page 1 Google search, we're actually kicking a competing boudoir photographer off page 1, effectively making them invisible to the approximately 80% of searchers that are never even reach page 2. They're page 1 searchers only, which means making them visible to the bulk of the marketplace. So a lot of boudoir photographers say they actually like this benefit the most. And page 1 visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. So the GBC universe has a recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 page 1 slots on Google. And that's the recommended minimum because basically everyone else is going to have 1 slot, so we're going to be dominating them on page 1. In the ultra rare case, someone has 2 slots, well, our 3 slots are also going to be dominating them. So we're basically covering all scenarios by having 3 out of 10. Finally, we know that a boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer. So this is our micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. That's fine. Simply search. Well, we'll simply use our SQ methodology social search saturation. And that gives us page 1 visibility, turns us into a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. Now, onto my results using SQ methodology. I wanted to rank for this keyword, BLCS boudoir. So I already knew that SQ methodology was the number one, basically the number one option for me to do this. And let's go to the organic slots to see my results. So let's see what I got here. So I got organic slot 1, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. So I went from 0 to 10 slots, page 1 Google search, to 9 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search, in only 10 days, purely by using S-cubed methodology. No website even needed. So now to the main course here. We want to see if this boudoir photography business has BSS, boudoir search sameness for these two Google searches. So all right, we're going back here. So first we're looking at boudoir photographer in Middletown, Delaware. So let's see. So I'm going to go to the organics. So here we go. Boom, they got one. Boom, they got two. Boom, they got three. Boom, they got four. I believe this, he has them as well. Yep, boom, they got five. And okay, I believe this is them as well. They got six. Boom, they got seven. I don't think that's, hold on, did I miss one? One, two, three, four. That's sponsored. So they got five. They got six. They got seven. They got eight. They do not have nine. They got 10. All right, so this is what we want to shoot for. Well, we want to hit the GBC minimum of 3 out of 10, but we got 9 out of 10 here. This is perfect. Someone searching this, who are they going with? Who are they going with? There's only two options in the organic searches. And I got, number 9 here, Elevate Creative Studio. So this is perfect. Wonder how much more work we need to do to get a 10 out of 10. But all right, so we definitely do not have BSS for this one. So we don't have BSS for that. Let's see the larger city though. So local, 9 out of 10, fantastic. We do not have BSS. Now we're going for kind of the largest city nearby. So that'd be Wilmington, Delaware. All right, so let's see. Boom, we got one. So we got one. We got 1 out of 10, dude. We got BSS. We got BSS for the city. For the city search. So we got local search and city search we look at. We definitely got BSS. Here we got 1 out of 10. And this is exactly what S-cubed methodology was built to solve. So going back. So first search does not have BSS. First search was amazing, 9 out of 10. Second search, we got 1 out of 10. We got BSS. We got 0 1 slots on page 1 of Google. We got to hit the GBC minimum of 3 out of 10. That's our goal. All right, so if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, meaning you've gone to do the local search and the city search with the highest intent boudoir by your keywords, and you either got BSS for one of those searches or you're not reaching the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 page 1 Google slots. So you know you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, which now you know. Yeah, it's kind of the warning light, canary in the coal mine to eventually disappear in boudoir photography business. And you understand page 1 inequalities. The false belief page 1 inequality is exactly that, a false belief. And so you're kind of broken out of the mind cage. And you're like, all right, we can take as many page 1 slots on Google as we want. So I've decided I'm going to put in the effort to do that. And so you're seeing S-cubed methodology is the exact solution you've been looking for. And you also understand, the market saturation is kind of natural as people get new gear, more boudoir photographer sellers for the same number of competing for the same number of buyers. And as a result, you are you're liking the initial benefit of more page 1 slots on Google. You're definitely liking the second initial benefit of basically of more peeps being kicked off page 1 on Google. And as a result, you're liking those initial benefits, and then you actually are thinking ahead to some future benefits, which is, man, AI is going to be taking so many people's jobs, and that's actually going to be the largest bringer of boudoir photographers into the market, massively increasing the number of sellers. And you're like, all right, I actually got a third benefit. I need to basically fortify my position on Google page 1. I need to have so many links on page 1, Google can't even fit them there. And Google's like, hold my links in backup to be on page 1 because I got too many links that could and should be ranking on page 1 to prevent any of these AI forced people who are losing their jobs that become boudoir photographers to ever even get on page 1. Kind of like fortifying the levees in in Nolens, Louisiana, because that city is below sea level. So you're seeing kind of future benefit. S-Cube's methodology is the only thing that can give that benefit. And you're also seeing that the other future benefits, basically, as we do S-Cube methodology for more and more keywords, we're building out these invisible thematic keyword columns around our brand, around our business. And when we do that, it's kind of like, columns at the Parthenon in Athens, or like, think of like our business, our brand name as kind of the hub out on the internet, and then all these spokes, kind of like a bicycle wheel, going into the hub, or coming out of the hub. This is basically building up AI mindshare for those thematic keywords, where it's looking at repetition, relevance, frequency, age, authority. How long we've been associated with these keywords, how many times, where we're ranking. And every day we successfully execute S-Cube methodology, we're actually increasing the probability of being recommended up here up top with the AI overview. And when we successfully rank for the AI overview, we are we're actually able, higher chance of getting this premium slot, can't even pay for the slot with ads, this AI overview slot. And I believe it's only one person showing at a time here. And so that's a future benefit. Also, in the same breath, we're increasing the probability that we get recommended AI search, ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini. Increased probability AI search recommends us. And yeah, Google search is still approximately 90% of global search. But dude, AI search is growing literally every single day. And as a result, we are increasing chance to get recommended there. Last time I used AI search to search for a boudoir photographer in the city was it gave me 3. This is ChatGPT. It gave me 3. Then I went kind of like manually search, on Google, Facebook, and it turns out there's like 60. So I'm like, man, we gotta find a way to get in these 3 slots in kind of like any way possible. And so you're liking that future benefit. You're also liking that my plan right now is to work with only one boudoir photographer per city. So you're seeing that since you decide to be a first mover and hop on this, you can actually prevent all your competitors from using this strategy. And because of that, you'll be able to get like massive momentum, page 1 slots, kicking them off page 1, massive fortification momentum, massive back-end AI mindshare momentum with all these invisible thematic keywords being, basically plugged into your brand and growing that AI mindshare, increasing the probability of AI search overview and AI search recommendation you're showing up for, and basically building a gap so big none of your current competitors can catch it, nor any new entrants coming from AI taking people's jobs can catch it. And conversely, you're saying that if one of your competitors were, to start working with me and use the strategy first in your same city, then they would get all those benefits. We'd be building up a massive gap with them, with AI mindshare against you, kicking your links off page 1 of Google, and you would actually have to, then go and rederive S-Cube methodology for yourself, derive it the first time, then go execute it every single day correctly. And then once you do that, you would actually, if you equaled our output, you would literally be maintaining the gap with me and your competitor had already built against you. So you'd actually have to like double or triple our output in order to, basically in order to close the gap, kind of pull that AI mindshare from me and your competitor back over to you. But how's one gonna do 2 to 3x the effort when they aren't even 100% confident they've derived S-Cube methodology correctly in the first place? It's even worth investing all that time. So you've decided, screw it. I ain't missing this chance. I ain't missing this opportunity. I'm simply going to be the first mover and get rolling. So I've actually shoot me a DM. My DMs are currently closed. The hospital is not currently accepting new patients. But when we do open the hospital for new patient intake, shoot us a DM, and we will see if you qualify to utilize our S-Cubed methodology.